An hour of financial planning each weekday. The WBBM Noon Business Hour continues.
The NFL and Verizon are reportedly teaming up to expand the streaming of games. Let's get all the details from Tim Hanlon, Managing Director of the Vertere Group here in Chicago. Tim, this is Verizon that's making it happen. Tell us kind of the nuts and bolts of the deal.
Hey, Cisco, the previous deal that the NFL and Verizon had was that of exclusivity. That is, for the mobile app, the NFL mobile app. That was an exclusive offering presented by Verizon, which meant that if you wanted that mobile app, you had to be a Verizon customer in order to receive that app and enjoy any of the game highlights and game action. This deal today is a renewal of the relationship between the NFL and Verizon, but it changes the nature of the exclusivity to sort of a non-exclusive thing, meaning that if you're an AT&T or T-Mobile or Sprint customer, you will now have unfettered access to this NFL mobile app. And also it will allow Verizon, frankly, to also extend NFL's programming to two other platforms that Verizon now owns, one being Yahoo Sports, and their own sort of fledgling mini bundle of video content called Go 90. So in essence, it basically means more access to the NFL mobile offering without necessarily having to only be a subscriber of Verizon.
Now, it seems to make a lot of sense for the NFL, obviously, a bigger potential audience. Why does this make sense for Verizon?
Well, Verizon, I think, is really a company in change, not unlike any other media and or telecommunications company, right, all going through lots of change. Verizon acquired a whole bunch of content assets over the last couple of years, that being AOL and the remnants of such, as well as Yahoo and the remnants of such, an entity now called Oath. And I think they are not finished, Verizon, in terms of their appetite for potentially getting more access to either a broader range of content or maybe even buying content along the lines of some of these big mergers that you and I have talked about over the last number of months.
And how does this affect the other carriers?
It's a neutral, Chris, I think, because that it's now no longer a gating factor to be a subscriber of another mobile carrier. It's really a neutral because it just basically means that if you're a subscriber to those cell services, you can access the content of the app now without any worry.
How significant is it that fans are going to be able to stream these games in local markets? I know MLB has blacked those out a lot. I mean, here in Chicago, people are going to be able to watch Bears games on their phones.
Yeah, so I think it's also really important, Cisco, to recognize that this is just one of the many channels of distribution that the NFL has. This is a specific mobile app called the NFL Mobile. But there are other ways by which you can watch games, whether that be through the apps of Fox Sports or CBS, ESPN, NBC. Depending on who's got the rights to cover the game, those are also alternatives to watch said programming. So there is a plethora of opportunities there to watch, and the good news is that you don't necessarily need to be just a customer of one provider.
Quickly, Tim, is this just, we talk about these companies evolving. I mean, more and more things are going online. It's just a natural evolution of the way the product is handed out.
Yeah, I think it's also a real issue of mobility. Right? The simple fact of the matter is that it's not only digital access in computers and laptops, but it's increasingly video being consumed on mobile devices, and that's a very compelling thing for consumers who are, in theory and in practice, frankly, always on the go, and the ability to watch your television or video wherever you are, that's an amazing thing.
Thanks for joining us today, Tim. Tim Hanlon is Managing Director at the Vertere Group here in Chicago.